Hi guys,
Welcome
it's
to the
Diane from Angel Aura Spiritual Boutique here in the village of Pauling at 12 West Main Street. Welcome and thank you for joining us this evening. Tonight with me, of course, my lovely co-host Leilani
Hi.
and Pina. This is Pina's first time on the show with us. Pina's one of the mediums that reads here.
Yay.
Welcome, Pina.
She did the princess.
Princess Wave. Well, it's going to be a fun evening. I'm glad everybody joined in. And don't forget to give us a shout out. Let us know that you're there. And to let us know if you have any questions that you'd like us to answer. I'll tell you a little bit about the shop. It's a metaphysical shop here. And I sell many items, crystals, candles, jewelry, incense, soaps.
Cards.
Tarot cards. Oh, and I have to show you I got the Halloween tarot deck.
Nice.
Can you grab that deck for me? I wanted to show them if you guys wanted to come down and get something dark for the Halloween month of spookiness. our lovely Marion is helping. Oh, there's some samples up there. So it's the Halloween tarot.
Super cute.
It's a super cute deck. It is it is all about tarot. It's not. Have you seen this one before? It's so cool.
Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that.
And so the Hierophant is a mummy.
Nice.
And the back of the card is black cats, which is really very cool. Here, you want to see that one? I'm not sure what the pumpkins are representing. Could be the what do you call it?
Coins.
Coins.
Yeah, I was thinking coins.
I
That's
know
what
we
came
don't.
to me.
I don't use tarot. I use oracle cards.
Give it to her so
I'm
she can
listening.
show
Oh,
them.
no, I'm good. I just need the one.
This
is
is
great,
ghost. There's the ghost. There's the bats, and the imps, which is super cool. I love the imps.
That is awesome.
Okay, and don't yell at me for not knowing all the symbols on the tarot deck because I don't use the tarot.
I don't use them either. I don't resonate to them.
But Leilani does. Would you know?
Would
you
you
know
know what
tell us
those
what they
Oh
were
my God,
representing?
there's a lot because there's Hebrew, there's Egyptian stuff. There's a lot of
Well,
stuff
the
going on.
the swords, or the
I guess that depends on I believe the swords is air and mental. The coins is earth. You know,
so yeah, the
cups
pumpkins
water.
would be coins
Absolutely.
Yeah.
for sure, and of course the
And then
Hierophant
the
is
bats would probably be
major.
air.
air. That makes sense.
You know. The
Anyway,
ghosts.
The ghost, yeah. What do you think?
Earth? No.
No, because I think pumpkin is earth.
Earth. I don't know,
I don't
y'all.
Well,
That's
anyway,
fun.
you figure it out. Come down
Mm.
and check out the deck. I do have a couple of them here at the shop, and it's a really fun deck. So I thought I would just throw that out there because we're in Halloween month.
Well,
Yay!
Busiest month of the year.
Yes, yes, yes. I love Halloween. It's
Mhm.
always been one of my favorite holidays. I love it. I love dressing up, and we're going to be doing the Halloween party here. Woohoo! Don't miss it. Definitely come down. You must be in costume, everyone. We're in costume. I already got mine, and just needs to be pressed. And I'm so excited about putting it on.
I got mine.
You got your and
I'm
you
not telling.
Still not yet. I don't know
not
what I'm
yet.
gonna do.
Oh, well, I have a couple in the back. You might be interested in
man.
one. costume.
Give me some wings and glitter. It's a regular Saturday night. Yeah.
So I love it, and we're slowly decorating the shop here into Halloween themed. But it should be super fun. We do have lots of other stuff happening this month at the shop. I'll put my glasses back on so I can read to you what's happening this week. Tomorrow night is Stars. Stars in. She's doing the Evidential Psychic and Mediumship Development Workshop. That starts at 6. So if you haven't come yet, you can join in at any time. She catches you up. It's a real good workshop. You get to practice mediumship with her. This Friday night we have the Celestial Shaman Rites with John DeBlasi. That is going to be a great workshop. It is.
I'm coming.
I'm coming. It's multifaceted, multidimensional attunement, empowerment, initiation activation to shamanic energy healing, gifts and techniques. Do bring your sacred objects for the collective altar. John brings amazing crystals when he comes. I know all you guys in here have experienced John's crystals and his pyramid. He also brings his copper pyramid, and he brings the crystal skulls, and they're amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah.
They're amazing. And he usually has something you can purchase too.
Maybe I'll bring my wand.
Yeah. So bring your items so you can put them there on the altar. It's going to be fun. And that starts at 7 on Friday. So do come in for that. And of course, on Saturday, our lovely Leilani, connecting to your spirit guides. You can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's a biweekly class to give the students in the class the skills and the muscles that they need to connect with their guides. And once they start doing that, they get to kind of figure out who their guides are, how to work with them, and we kind of layer it up every week. So this Saturday coming up, our first thing, we're gonna do divination. We're gonna talk about divination and practice a little bit.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
look
gonna be a
forward
great
to it.
class.
I look forward to it. Last week we were pretty full in here.
Yeah, it was a
great
good class.
It was a great class. And Friday, I passed by Friday. I forgot Friday on the calendar. Our lovely Pina's here doing her readings. She's here every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And want to tell us about your readings?
Tell
Tell us about you, Pina.
us
They
about
don't know you. They need to know you.
I work in the angelic realm. Talk to angels, spirit. I'm a medium. I'm psychic if they allow me to be. It's only what they give me, I give. I'm just an oracle. It's not coming from me. It's coming from the divine.
Pina's readings are fun. And Leilani's reading on Saturday too, also with her workshop. So if you want to come in for a reading with either one of them, do so. Great readings. You'll love it. What else we have this month? We have some. I know I'm going through the calendar now. I usually do it at the end of the show, but I'll go through it quickly. I won't blah 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 about a lot of things. On the 15th, Pina and Star are doing wine and spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Star's class is every Thursday, and Leilani's workshop is every other Saturday. And you can book readings with any one of the mediums anytime. It doesn't have to be on their particular day. They'll be able to we'll make accommodations for you, and also we do Zoom. So every time I say Zoom, it reminds me of the show when I was a kid, Zoom.
Yeah.
Right? On PBS, there was a show called Zoom.
Leilani's too young for that. We know.
I'm like, huh?
Yeah, we know.
That was Zoom. Anybody remember Zoom out there? Yeah, that was it. So every time I say let's Zoom, it
brings back
right
childhood
there.
memories.
Like I'm watching Zoom on PBS. It was the other show you watched with Sesame Street. For the older kids. Zoom was for the older kids.
Yeah, Zoom was for 13.
Yes.
13.
So Wine and Spirits with Pina and Star on the 15th. That's going to be super cool, and come on in. It's a gallery. On the 23rd of Friday, October 23rd, John de Blasi again with the Kachina Beings and Multidimensional Experiences. I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be super cool. October 30th, Joe LaCastro of A Millennial's Third Eye will be here. Joe, we love you. And he's going to be, it all starts with you, how to attract and manifest. Do come in for that workshop. It's going to be great. I love Joe's workshop always. We usually get very, very busy in here for one of his workshops. And then our Halloween party on the 31st. Woohoo! The readings are $35 all day, so come on in and get one for $35, 15-minute readings. And then our party's starting at 6:30, guys.
Yes. Okay, you guys really need to stick around for our parties. We have a good time.
We will have food.
Angel Aura knows how to have a good time.
Yeah, and it's a BYOB night, people. Yeah. BYOB. I will provide some food. And then there is a local taxi service here. So don't worry about that.
And it's first and second prize, best costume.
That's right. Yes, prizes, and more prizes.
I gotta figure out something.
Oh, there'll be lots of stuff. It's gonna be fun. So I blabbed a lot about that, but I want you all to know about it because it's, so much happening, so many things. Hey, Joe, I can't wait to get here for your workshop. I miss you, and hopefully you'll be here next week to do the show with us.
Candy wants an astrological chart.
The astrology right now, Candy, I have to find someone for you. The girl that was doing the astrology at the shop, her daughter got married, and then she got all wrapped up into doing her life stuff that she decided that she doesn't want to do it anymore. So, and one of the things about the shop here is that when people that join in to be part of our family, because when you work here, you become family. We're all family here. We're all authentic, and so it's a really tough thing to interview people to do astrology.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different forms of it. There's so many different ways to read it, and the woman that was doing the astrology before started when she was 14 doing astrology. So it's not something that you can learn overnight to do astrology. It's something that
that's a very studious practice.
Exactly. So I mean, I try to follow through. I took some of her classes, and I'm like lost. I'm totally lost.
It's a very complicated art, but it's awesome if you know it.
And it's a great reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Laura does it.
Yeah, I think it's great, and it's so many different levels. Like you can get like the birth chart and where you are. It's crazy, but I love it. And I'm waiting for someone to bring me in mine.
I can definitely recommend a few people for you, for sure.
Hi, Corinne.
So we're saying hello to a few people. Hi, Maria, Christina, Rob, Marius, Patricia. Thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Hey, guys. Leilani's also streaming live on her page.
More questions, the better. And we have a live audience.
Yes, we have a live audience.
So wherever we can get the questions, let's do it, you guys. Let's do it.
So shout out some questions there. We'd love to answer some of them. One thing that I was going to talk about this evening, which I was talking to everyone here earlier about, was with the kids going back to school now, and whether they're in school or they're zooming in, right? Is that the word? Remote. Thank you. Remote in. How they're dealing with the anxiety. I've been asked several times what would be the best crystal for the kids to be using, or a lot of the people that connect with us here, the children are gifted. It's gifted children. It's not all the kids are gifted. Trust me, they're all gifted. They all have sensitivity to things.
Absolutely.
But how to get them to not have the anxiety, and we pick up energy even if we're not in person with someone through the remote. You're still picking up everybody's energy and anxieties and stuff. So, what would be the best crystal? What crystal would you recommend?
I'm sorry, I was reading. She loves your purple stairs.
Oh, you love
and window
them.
lights.
I'm glad you love them.
Sorry. To keep them calm, to keep their anxiety down. It's so weird because I resonate to so many different things, and it's hard to. I would rather the child pick it out, but
exactly what I said.
Yeah,
exactly
I'm feeling
what I said.
right now like agate.
Oh, an agate. That's a good one.
Like,
I didn't think of that.
That's what came to me just now, agate. But
Agate's
really, they should resonate to it, what they feel.
Yeah. Someone asked me today what crystal would be best, and I know that the child has many crystals. So I said, well, let her pick the crystal that she feels that's calling her, but also to put something, maybe an obsidian or something beside her that just to help with the grounding, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Agate. Yeah, that's a good crystal for that. What would you think, Leilani?
I guess it would depend. For me, I guess it would depend like what part of the child you're trying to address. Like, what is it that they need grounding for? Like, is it in their emotions? Is it their thoughts? Is it their physical body? Do they constantly feel buzzing? Like, what is it specifically? And then you can pick a stone based on that. You know, so like stones that are found near oceans would be best for emotions. So things like Larimar, things, you know what I mean? A stone that's found like in a mountainside or like deep near like salt caves, that would be great for like physical body grounding, things like that. So like, you know, taking into account where they grow, the science behind them, that helps to pick the right stone for your kid.
That's good. That's a good way. That's a good thought to think about too. I like that. I definitely like that. Sharon says obsidian is great protection for sure. Absolutely.
Sharon is from the UK.
Yeah,
Oh yay!
yeah, she said hi from the UK.
Yay!
Obsidian.
Oh,
There you
Christina
go.
was saying lepidolite, selenite, black tourmaline would be great to keep them calm.
Yeah, lepidolite. That's been coming up a
I
lot.
love
in the past couple
lepidolite.
days
It's
for me, too.
beautiful stone. Black obsidian, smoky quartz, angelite are also great. Amethyst is great for grounding.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Grief for Larimar is good with grief. So if your child has lost a family member, that could be contributing to their heightened psychic senses because they're going through a place of trauma. That's really great. Thank you.
And so I know what I say to them is to They can talk to their angels and say, you know, help to keep me calm.
Absolutely.
You know, some of the moms, kids that I deal with here in the shop they are super spiritual. They're very connected, and my own grandchildren too. So I do deal with it with them too, and you know,
Take into account their learning styles
Mhm.
and their age because
Mhm.
that'll help to determine what kind of activities you can use. Like for like a little kid, like your adorable little granddaughter. Like I would do like going outside and having her dig her hands in the soil, you know, and grounding that way and pushing the feelings and the emotions into the soil. It's more sensory. That's the age bracket that she's around, you know.
Corinne, messages. We're going to give messages in a little while. I'm going to pull a couple of just the oracle cards just to give little messages like that, not big readings. Readings come into the shop, see us, and to be more detailed. It's not easy to give a whole big reading on the website. That's on the show. I'm sorry, not the website. My brain is out there tonight. I don't even know what's happening. It's easier to do a lot more things at the shop, but here we just want to be on the light side. So we will pull a couple of those later.
How about the audience? Does the audience have any questions?
I'm in floor sweeps. Someone is interested in Corinne is in floors. I use salt a lot and lavender too.
Ooh, a fun floor sweep. Get just baking soda. Do you have carpets or hard? It doesn't matter. Baking soda.
She's got to ground herself.
Oh, here you go. Ground yourself, girl.
She has obsidian.
I'm wearing it.
No, for you. You're the one who was like,
Oh, me.
Get yourself some baking soda. And you can depending on the floor. Like
I'm
if you
very
have
calm.
wood floors or like stone floors, you don't want to put salt in the baking soda because that's gonna tarnish the stuff. But you could do that with like carpets. And rosemary is a great herb.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can use rue. You can use bay leaves. And you just put it, you crush it all up, put it in the baking soda, put it all on your rug or on your floor, let it sit for 15, 20 minutes, do a prayer, and then either vacuum it or sweep it up.
I didn't realize. I always did salt. My mom was a big thing about that. Get the salt, put it all over the floor, sweep it out the front door. That was a big thing because
You
that's
can
like
sweep it out too without sweeping.
Yeah.
Without touching the floor.
Yeah.
You can sweep the negativity right out the door. You start from the back of the house to the front. And you never touch the floor with the broom, but you sweep the negativity out. There's lots of ways of doing it.
No carpet. She said she has no carpet hardwood.
Okay,
cool. Yeah.
But honestly, you can simply enchant your cleaning supplies. One of the best ones for a wood floor, pine sol. Pine is such a protective and such a powerful herb just naturally. And you take that pine sol, you enchant it, you give it the purpose of doing its thing, and then you clean your floors like you normally would.
I love it. That's a good one. I'm going to save that one. I'm saving it.
Okay.
I'm saving it. Certain things you save. I hear so many tips, everyone has different techniques and the way they do things. And so I love to listen to everyone's, the way they do their cleansings, their sweepings, their smudging, their opinions about smudging, whether the person that just uses Palo Santo, or they just use the sage, but I'm learning more about herbs and how to use them in cleansings, and so that's really good.
Well, I mean, what it is that we do is rooted in practicality. It's rooted in survival. It's rooted in just your day-to-day life. It wasn't like something you practice. It was just the way you lived.
Yeah.
Corinne, those pine needles that you're saying you have in your driveway, you can actually wrap wrap them and use them just like a sage. So dry them out, and then wrap them and use it just like you would use sage. So pine is good for that, definitely for cleansing. So every time I do like to collect the pine needles when I see them.
Yeah.
Oh, you should come to my house. They're everywhere. I'm picking them off the car constantly.
But you can use them in so many different things.
I know. I let them stay because they protect the house. They roll around the house.
Very cool. Very cool.
So yeah.
So I feel like this week is like, it's been like a long week, but a good week. Like I've had a good week so far. Yesterday, I had a day of pampering on my day off, which was fantastic. Self-love, everybody must do it. Must do it.
For sure.
Must do it.
For sure.
So that was great. I actually said to Pina today, I feel so much better, right?
Yeah.
When you give yourself that little self-love, and I've been cutting a lot of cords, which is Pina's probably sick of hearing me say it by now.
That's okay.
And
then we played in the Halloween store, and I was being silly. And they had axes and swords and stuff. So I was like, cut the cords.
Oh my God, they had this huge giant pair of scissors I was going to get for the shop.
They were
so everybody came to me,
I was like,
cutting cords.
I made her walk through this thing. I knew the spider was going to come out. I go, walk through there. Just so I could get scared at the spider. I go, yeah. So she walks through, but she still got scared.
It wasn't the same spider I thought it was.
She was looking at one. He came from the other end.
It was so funny. It's so funny. I love that stuff.
Good.
I love that stuff.
How do you dry the pine cones? So when it comes to cleansing the home and the protection aspect of pine, it's the pine needles that I'm talking about, not the cones. The cones can be used for other things. We can talk about that another day. But just like any herb, you can just hang it on your window upside down, let the air do its thing. That'll take some time. If you have a dehydrator, it could take maybe an hour, even less.
You can dry them. You can even if you put the oven on very low, like a 100 or 150, and just lay them out on a nice sheet pan, and put them in there just to dry out. Just put them in there and yeah, you have to watch your oven, but it does smell, but the house starts to smell good too.
Oh, it smells so good. Or you can just or you don't have to dry them out at all. Take the fresh pine cones, put it in water, boiling water, and allow the smoke, the steam to cleanse your space.
Oh, that's a good. I didn't think of that. I mean, I boiled it like I boil herbs just to make the smell in the house, especially cinnamon.
Yeah.
I love
And you
cinnamon.
just take that pot, walk around, and just kind of fan it into each room.
I didn't think of that. Good to know. See, you learn something every day.
Little thing.
Kitchen smudging.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So Mary thought I needed to have all of these obsidians. These are, I believe, are the rainbow ones. I wasn't grounded because I couldn't find all my words.
You feel better?
I did feel better. Thank you for that, Mary. Thank you for that. Oh my goodness. So what else have you been doing this week, Leilani?
This week, well, I had surgery on Friday, and so this week I've just spent recovering. That's it. And then I went back to work the other day. That's it.
Well,
Nothing
good.
fancy.
That's good. It's good. What is Corinne saying?
She rescued 2 black kittens from under my boat. I called them 2020.
That's funny.
Super cute. I think the fox got their mom, so tomorrow she has an appointment to take them.
Oh.
To get fixed. Oh.
Well, we'll send lots of love and blessings to them. Poor mama.
2020. That's so cute.
It's so nice. Were we talking about that before, about being put in a place at the right time, right?
Yes.
Yep.
But
Everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Even after.
Even if an event is supposed to happen, even something like a pandemic or whatever, it'll still happen, but just, it gets bumped.
It got delayed, but it's
Gets
still gonna
delayed.
happen. Oh, hey Candy. She says she hopes you're feeling better. You?
Thank you.
You.
I appreciate that.
That was you?
I'm really enjoying
What are you
those-
eating?
those York peppermint
Oh.
patties.
Oh my
So-
goodness. Oh, I'm gonna grab this
Do
here.
you guys happen to have, because I'm getting a lot on my feed
Okay, go ahead.
of how to spiritually address, you know, things like depression, things like trauma after coming back from a traumatic situation. You know, once you're in a safe place, once you're home, or once you've lost someone, whatever, and you're going through that down phase, how we deal. What's some advice we can give to them as they go through that? At least that's what my feed got, a lot of that in there.
Everybody deals with it differently. Honestly, I can't say when people say, oh, it'll get better with time. It'll never heal. That's a lie. However, you will learn to live with it in time, but you will never heal. You need to be strong enough to
Just get to the next day.
Mhm.
accept
take the next
what's
step.
happening, know that it's God's plan, you can't control it, and just day by day.
Mhm.
And having support around you, that's important.
Having your friends and
Your
family
friends
with
and
you,
family.
understanding how you're feeling, and you know, when you have that friend where it doesn't matter if you're laughing or crying or just blabbering or
Right.
whatever it is. Her question was it about a loss of a
It could be
Loved one.
anything, just being
Oh.
depressed in general
depression?
for any reason.
Well, you know, I think you really have to go deep inside yourself when you're when you're in a depressed state. No matter what caused it, whether it was a loss or a loved one or loss of a love or whatever it was, or just sometimes we're just not happy and we get into a depressed state, is you really need to go inside yourself and find out what it is that's causing it. Take a
Mhm.
look at it and try to remove it from yourself and know that it's not, you know, it really doesn't belong to you.
No.
You don't really need to be that person. I mean, that's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
But do try to be more in touch with your spiritual self, and a lot of self-love where you're cleansing or walking, going on a walk, or you know, treating yourself to a manicure or pedicure or a haircut or a facial or a massage. You're just doing little tiny things, little baby steps, little tiny things for yourself will help. And talking to someone and letting them know. And
Try
You know?
doing a life inventory. Just get a piece of paper and put with everything that's positive in your life down, and then what's negative. What's positive is there is just to show you what you have and to be grateful for. And the negative, you take one at a time and you say, can I fix it? Can I change it? If you can fix it or change the situation or the circumstances, by all means, one thing at a time, change it to make it positive. If you can't, you need to remove it from your life. This will help you get past whatever's troubling you that's making you so depressed. But then the positive side is affirmation, all the wonderful things that you have in your life. We forget to look at that when we're depressed.
I got that one day where we have to start making a list of all the things we're grateful for that we do
Exactly.
have.
All your
You
blessings.
know, rather than, because you don't really realize once you start looking at everything that you do have, all the blessings that you do have, some of the other things start to disappear.
Yeah, they're irrelevant.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Hey, Candy. Thank you. She says very well said.
Thank you.
Wow. I hope that helped. I hope that helped. That's a big topic. That's something we could talk about for hours.
Yeah, I mean, mental health and spirituality overall, I think it's just
Yeah.
that's a whirlpool.
And sometimes we just need talking to someone, whether it be a friend or family or a counselor. That's an important
Just to
thing.
release it.
Exactly.
So, do we have any questions from your guys or from the audience?
My guys are talking about just responding to the things that we're talking about.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
I'm glad.
You had, I remember like two of
Ooh,
you had
card
questions
fell.
like earlier.
Get that card.
I don't
What does
remember
it
what they
say?
were, but Earth Star Chakra, Initiation.
Wow, that's a
Nice.
good card.
That's a really good card.
So this is my newer deck. It's the Beyond Lumeria. It is a Oracle deck. So the card that popped out was Earth Star Chakra. I don't know if you guys can really see it there. It's a cool deck, but a jumper. That's right, Corinne. It was
Yeah.
a jumper. It's a jumper.
Usually when a card jumps, you need that message.
We had this card earlier. Didn't this come out in our reading? Do you
Yes.
remember what it was about?
No. There's been a lot going on today. I can't remember everything.
I know. Well, this is the first card in the deck, so and it has to. This deck is so cool, guys.
It's deep.
What'd you get over there?
One of my guys is getting initiated later this month, like into
Oh,
into a
awesome.
practice. So
Yay! So there
Congratulations.
yay, there you
There you go.
go.
That's me. Yeah, there you go. I'm
That's
glad you like.
awesome.
I love this deck. It's so cool. The artwork in it is amazing. It works with the elements. It works with the chakras. It's just a great deck. I love it. So I'm learning to connect to it and read with it, and I hope to be able to give you guys, every one of you, a reading with it at some point in time. It might not be today, but but it will have to be at the shop. Oh goodness! But so so here we go. Here's the thing with your cards. So, they're jumping. I don't put them down for a few seconds because my brain went somewhere. When people come into the shop and they say to me, "Well, I want to get a deck of cards. I want to get a tarot, or I want to get an oracle deck. What should I do? How do I connect?" And I say, "Well, the cards. You have to pick. The cards will pick you. Go around. They feel the cards. Okay, all good and well. Well, how do you connect to your cards, right? What do you do?" My thing is always to spend time with your deck, to shuffle your deck. That's why I'm sitting here talking to you guys. So I figured, okay, I'm going to shuffle my deck.
Run away from you.
And they jump out and do things. But it's a good thing. So how do you connect to a deck? How do you get,
For me, I just resonate to it. If I see something and it's like, it draws me, it pulls me.
Mhm.
I could look at 100 decks and I'd be like, eh. And then all of a sudden that one just like calls out to me.
So so that deck called out to you and you open it up. Can you just read with that deck right away? Can you?
I can, but I always bless them. I always put them
Okay.
to my heart and bless them and always ask Spirit, the divine, whatever you want to call them, to help me to see with these cards. We don't really need them. They're just a visual tool, but they're pretty. and I
They
like
help
them.
to help to validate
They do.
the
They help to
messages.
validate. But I just, and then I start from there. I have to know. I'm nosy.
The card two
Oh,
more cards had popped out.
Realm Bridger
Oh,
and Manifestia. You must manifest. The Bridger is going into the next dimension. Right. And right now we are in a time of awakening where we are moving. And it's a beautiful thing.
absolutely.
It's been the last 10 years or so
I don't know if you guys
where
can see that.
this whole
card.
planet
So,
is starting to wake up.
yes. Oh, that was what I was going to read about. So
And,
this deck had.
yeah.
I pulled those cards earlier today.
And
Oh, man.
Manifesto is manifesting, pulling it towards you. So
It is a great.
absolutely.
Lisa has his deck.
I do have that deck. I love that
do you
deck.
love that
And how
deck?
do you?
I love it. I love that deck. It called me.
It did.
See?
It called me.
It did.
Word a hole.
Yep.
But when I got them, I handled them.
That's the
I
back of the card, guys.
talked to them, held them to my heart,
Yeah.
held them to my
That's the
head.
back of the deck.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love them.
It's
I
a great deck.
usually sage my cards when I get them home.
That's the first thing I do when I
Yeah,
first open
I
them. spread
sage
out.
them, and then they choose a crystal. All my decks have crystals of some sort, some kind of stone, and they choose it. I let them. Let's say today I was leaving the house, and this deck came flying at me, and I said, "Okay, we're going. You're coming." This is my little unicorn deck, and it has its crystal. What is it? I think it has a quartz. It chooses them. I have so many. Yeah, it's a quartz. I have crystals all over the place at home, and so they kind of, when I put them down, I'll come back and there'll be a crystal near the deck. So I'm like, okay, that's your Chris, that's yours.
What'd you get there?
Oh, lots of questions, but they're all over the charts. They're not anything to do with tarot. Sorry.
It's
What are you
okay.
talking
Yeah,
about?
we can switch over.
This one is a great one. Lucy, and I hope that you don't mind me sharing this. I mean, obviously you asked. So this last full moon, my sexual hormones were off the charts. How do I get that to tone down?
Why?
If I know why, girl.
Crazy.
Ugh.
Go with the flow.
If I could give one piece of advice, if you do anything spiritual or anything magical, definitely focus that energy towards those purposes, because I promise you, your results will be astronomical. That's all I can say. If you decide to do what you will with that advice.
Yeah.
I think that shift just happened. I think that we've come into the shift that's happening right now is also a sexual awakening. I said it. I said it.
You said it.
It is. I do see. I see it. I've
There's
been
nothing
hearing.
wrong with it. It's part of life.
I said it. Someone wrote you a big message there.
Yeah, these are like super deep. Here, this has something to do with the last thing. How did you begin your career as a tarot reader?
You, me, who's taking that?
Whoever, there's three of us.
Okay, well,
Let's all answer it.
I never I used cards. My mother was a medium, and she never really used cards, but she had a deck when I was younger, and I did play with the deck, and I was able to get messages from it. And then I never used a deck, so I just started. It's just give you the messages about whatever it is I'm feeling or hearing. So now I use an Oracle deck or this new one that I got, or I do have other decks. Like I have, I don't know, 9 different decks, and they're more like validation for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know how. I couldn't answer the question is how I got started. It just happened.
Yeah.
Although Leilani has this beautiful tarot deck from a friend of hers who made this deck.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I want to tell you something. This deck is amazing. I'm waiting to get it. I am going to get the deck. And Leilani brought this deck in. Let me tell you something.
It's called Simplicity Tarot. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Simplicity Tarot by Emily Muniz. I brought it here, and Diane's eyes was like, she was like, let me see. And she like grabbed it and was like loving on it. She's like, this deck is awesome.
It was talking
Yes.
to me. This deck was
See?
so absolutely the deck was talking to me. I'm like, this deck is talking to me, and it was like bam, 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 bam. I was like, what? It was
Yeah.
cool. It was super cool. But so that's how you just connect. You just connect to it.
Yeah. I used to use playing cards, regular playing cards when I was younger.
Mhm.
I started when I was maybe 11 or 12 playing with them, and then I started realizing that they were coinciding with the messages I was getting. So
Okay.
I started doing that, and then I stopped because I shut it down for a little while. And then when I was about 15 or 16, I started with the oracles.
Yeah. Leilani reads with a lot of different decks, but
Yeah. I started when I was 11, but I professionally probably like the beginning of college, because I needed a side gig to get through college. So, but it like that was the professional part of it. But yeah, I would say I started around 11.
Yeah. I didn't go professional until I was about 19, 20.
Yeah.
But I used to
haven't
do all
gone
my
professional yet,
friends.
people.
I used to do all my friends, and all through high school,
Mhm.
everybody used to come to me, oh, tell me this, tell me that,
I was the light as a feather, stiff as a board generation. So that was the party. That was the game we played at every sleepover. Let's injure ourselves. Let's pretend like we can levitate and injure ourselves.
Thank you, Candy. Sharon says that she's got many Oracle decks. I've got one that I love, Lemurian Star
Mhm.
Child Oracle. Oh, that must be very cool. I've connected with these and learning more and more, even crystal grids.
Yep.
Nice.
Yes, crystal grids.
Crystal
I've just started working with the grids myself. I'm creating myself now this whole room, right? A whole room of crystals and everything, and grids, lots of grids. I'm gonna learn to use grids. Do you use grids?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I should ask you that question. No.
I love crystal grids. They are
Yeah.
amazing. They are amazing.
I love them. I love them. I have a whole book on them now. The book that I bought had so many different ones.
Do you guys find it harder to read for yourselves? Are you guys impartial when you read
I don't
for
like what
yourself?
the cards tell me sometimes. I get very mad at them.
Do we read for ourselves? I throw a couple of cards here and there. You know what I do get? In the morning when I open my eyes, I see a number. And then I go to my angel number book and I read the number, what the meaning for that number, the message is, and it's always apropos. And I always get a number. It's weird because I'll open my eyes and I'll just see a number. And I'm like, okay, that's my number today.
That's cool.
So I know that's my angel.
Do you
So
read for
yeah.
yourself?
Oh yeah. I think it's like necessary to do it daily,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whether in the beginning of the day to kind of help navigate the day or at the end of the day to help make sense of the day. You know what I mean? It's
It's
just
true.
helpful. It's
That's
just
true.
helpful.
I do for myself, and I don't always like what it tells me, but but no,
Yeah.
I do.
So I
And
guess the short answer is that we're not impartial. We are impartial with ourselves. Yes.
it's it starts to be a pattern. So if you do your cards daily, right, and you're not sure, but if you do for a whole week, or and start keep a notepad, and so then you'll start to see a pattern and the message will come out to you. So if you're not getting the message from the cards at that very moment, if you're keeping notes over the week, it's spread out and you'll get the message. They're giving it to you in little pieces so that you can really get it. Hello, Star, my goddess. Love to see that you're there. Yay, Star.
Why'd you give us a banana? Oh, that's a moon.
Oh my
Well,
god.
was I scared when I first found out I had a gift? That was a good question. So Candy's asking, were you scared at first when you found out you had the gift?
I wasn't scared because I had people in my family that were connected and my mom was really cool about it. But there were incidences that frightened me, but I wasn't scared of the gift.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Like reflecting on it, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I
Yeah, I
ever was
wasn't
scared
scared.
of
It was
it.
very natural because I
Yeah.
was young when, we were young when it opened up and stayed open.
So we just, I guess you can agree with this. We just assumed it was just part of everything.
Right.
Like we just thought it was just
Just thought it was
life
normal.
until someone was like,
Yeah. Yes.
"What are you saying? What are you looking at? What's that?
Yeah.
You know, that's not there. Get your shit together, girl."
Yeah. Oh yeah, my siblings
know?
all told me you're crazy. And they used to say to my mother, "Take her to a doctor. She's seeing things. She's hearing things." But yeah, it was very natural. To this day, when I was little, I used to tell my mother, "I'm going to go to bed because I want to watch the movies." And she never understood. And one day she said to me, "What are you looking at?" Whenever I close my eyes, I see images. People come to me. I see all kinds of things.
Sorry, that was
So to me, it was a movie because I was a little girl and I seen images and people doing things. So I thought it was a movie. So I used to tell her, "I'm going to go lie down so I could see the movies," because it was intriguing to see all this stuff happening. But yeah, but startled, yes. There's been times where I was startled and, frightened. I'm not going to say I've never been frightened.
I've been taken aback.
Yeah, there's been times.
Yeah. What are you saying over there?
There's too much. I don't know what's happening.
Oh,
It's okay.
lots happening over there.
Ooh, blue
I'll give
moon
it a
on
minute.
Halloween. Yeah, there's going to be a full moon on Halloween. That
Yeah.
would be cool.
Be a
Yeah.
good one.
Werewolves will be at. You're welcome, Candy. We're happy to answer the questions.
Absolutely.
And you knew my mother. So,
You were fortunate to meet her.
Candy is actually
Wrong
married
into
to
that
my uncle.
At another time.
I met her, but she's in spirit.
It's not the
Mom.
platform.
I didn't meet her in physical.
Talking about my mother.
Your mom is so awesome.
Mercury retrograde star. Keep it. Keep it.
That's not a problem.
Yes, we loved it. I've been talking about my mom a lot lately because her passing was not too long ago. Well, anniversary for her passing, I should say. But I think she keeps everybody jumping in here sometimes.
Yeah.
She does. I'll be talking to someone and she'll say, "Tell him this, tell him this." I'm like, "Really, Ma?" So yes, she's still giving it to me when she's on the other side.
Yes, she is. How many times she told me to tell you things?
Yeah. Yes, it's true. It's true. It's so true. But that's it. That's the thing that that's how you grew up because that's what we knew.
Right.
So it was. I think the scary part was talking to other people about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Having them accept you.
Mhm.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
You did, I heard it.
But when I was little, my grandfather used to tell me these amazing stories, and I only had him for 7 years of my life. But I remember looking up at him and him just telling me all these different things that would happen with spirit and how things would move, and and I was amazed. I couldn't wait for it to happen. I was like, why isn't it happening here?
My mom was like that. She always
Yeah.
had funny stories.
Yeah.
She had a lot of funny stories. A lot of funny stories. Wow.
If you guys were to go on a paranormal investigation, what would you do proactively, as well as in the moment, in case you experience like a spirit that you were not familiar with?
Protect yourself immediately before you even go.
How?
How would you protect yourself?
I protect myself in many ways. First and foremost, I call an Archangel Michael. I don't go anywhere without him. Stones, all different things that I would do. Different waters that I would put on me. And basically, I talk to Jesus a lot too. So I'd call him in and ask him to come with me. I've done paranormal investigations. I was with 2 organizations. I stopped doing it because they were coming home with me, and it was like, okay, you need to go.
Mhm.
This is not where you belong. But yeah, and everybody protects themselves differently. But I always would call Michael and Jesus to come in with me.
And you, my dear?
How about you?
So for me, I definitely do a lot of wraps, anointed oils, certain
Yeah.
prayers, certain jewelry that I would, put on beforehand. During the investigation, like if I come across a spirit that I was not familiar with, I think the very first thing you have to keep in mind is not to assume that they're going to be bad, right? So just
Exactly.
don't go in there with a sense of fear,
Mhm.
because that's definitely not going to end well for you. So just always maintain calm and maintain authority. Remember, they are not supposed to be there. They're in this place and they're not supposed to be there. So you have a responsibility walking in to kind of take over that space and take control. And then the rest is up to you. You can, if some people use pendulums, some
Yeah.
people use those talking EVP things to
Mhm.
kind of determine whether or not that energy is harmful or whether or not it has bad intentions. But for us psychic medium kind of people, we just walk in the room, we feel
Yeah,
whether
we know
this
that.
thing is not a good thing or is.
Yeah. Sense it immediately.
And some of us with our gifts, with the clairs, we'll be able to get like a backstory,
Yep.
a name, and those are always helpful. It doesn't always happen. A
Mhm.
lot of times it's just a feeling. It's usually the feeling of how they died, or it's usually the feeling that they're currently stuck in at the moment as to why they're there.
Right.
And that's about it. And then at that point, it's up to the investigator what they're going to do next. Do they cross over the spirit? Do they leave it there? Do they? I mean,
Sometimes the
it's
spirit
different.
is nervous that you're there.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
sometimes spirit doesn't want to leave for whatever reason. They
Mhm.
could be scared to go home and meet their maker. They might not want to leave their material possessions or their family. So
Mhm.
it's not always easy to get them to go into the light.
Yes, this is true. This is very
You
true.
know, that's when I start calling the big guns in, Archangel
Mhm.
Metatron, and just to help them to,
Because sometimes it just needs a spirit. It needs to be a spirit to spirit
yeah.
Yep.
crossover, not
Yeah.
a person to spirit.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to say that we don't have spirits, but in
We
that
are
moment,
spirits.
Yeah.
we're functioning from a 3D place.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's better to kind of get someone that they know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And,
Except the even
The,
family
and the
members.
best thing you could do is just talk to them nicely, no matter whether they're good or bad. You know,
Just stay
just
calm.
stay calm and
Stay
talk to
calm.
them nicely, because angering them is not getting you anywhere. It's just going to get you hurt.
Mhm. Yeah, I never understood that. I'm gonna go into my little rant. I never understood that with ghost hunting and paranormal.
Yeah.
And, like when they go in and they like antagonize
Yeah,
the
that's
spirits
ridiculous.
and say crazy things, and then they don't even cross them over. They just leave.
Yeah.
I'm always like, what the fuck? Like imagine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're angering them and then they're walking away.
Like imagine being home, you're hanging out, you're watching TV with your kid. All of a sudden, someone walks in, says, "You dirty whore! I know how you died," or whatever, and just like messes with you. And you're sitting here just eating popcorn, like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And you're just like, "Why is this happening?" After a while, you'd be like, "I think I should punch him. I think I should cause bodily harm, and then send him away."
Oh,
Right?
that's too funny.
Would you not?
I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
a riot.
don't know.
It's true.
I think
But it's
bad.
true. They go
That's
in and they're
absolute-
antagonizing
That's
them
true.
instead
That's
of
true.
talking to them and asking them, "Can I help you?"
Right.
Right.
You don't want them to leave, I don't think. But it's a moneymaker.
Oh yeah, there's a
of
lot of
course. They don't
businesses
want
that
yeah.
don't want their stuff to leave. And again, that's a moral question that they have to answer.
Yeah.
I don't come from that place. To me, that's not acceptable. But I can't tell anyone what to do with their space. You know? Now that's different. That's a haunting of a space that happened maybe recently or within the last like 100 years. Let's not forget, you also have spirits of the land that
Oh,
are
absolutely.
that
Yeah.
are in that space as well. And those, I do not challenge anyone to try and cross them over. Like,
No way.
you go on ahead and have several seats. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, those are spirits of the land. They're there to help.
They're there.
Yeah.
They're
If anything, they can help the haunted ones that are in that place to help them cross over.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's two different things.
There's so many
It's-
layers.
Yeah,
There's
that's-
so many
that's
layers to
definitely
it.
different things. Someone asked me about that, about if the land has the spirits that are there from, I mean, they from way back when. So okay, so here's the thing. So in a reading that I did, and I felt the spirits of the Native Americans there, and then on top of that layer, right? That's one layer. The next layer is the energy left by the at that time the war when George Washington was here. So in the area here in Pauling, and there's the
Revolution, there's
The
all
re-
kinds of
the
revolutionary
revelation, right,
sites.
right, and the George Washington's headquarters. That's what I was trying to get at, is here in the village, and so they were uncomfortable with that imprint that was left by that.
Mm.
Right. So this is what. So I got this layer, and then I got this layer, and so this layer's telling me, well, they don't like. They're very upset about this layer of the energy. Is that?
Yeah.
If you can understand that.
Makes sense to us.
Yeah. So it was crazy. I was like, what's happening? This, and then I got this, and so it's that was a lot.
That is a lot.
That was
Way
a
above
lot.
my pay grade, right? I'm just like, but yeah, that's a lot.
Well, I like that line. I'm keeping that.
I'm keeping that.
Hi, Candace. She says, hello, ladies.
Hello, Candace.
Oh, goodness.
Funny.
Oh,
What you got?
there's a lot here. This is some good ones.
Okay.
So this is just a comment that I just resonated with. So imagine being a disembodied spirit, and you're homeless, you're wandering around, you have no food, you're lonely, like you come from that style.
Mhm.
That's your spirit. Like imagine now, and then now you're being taunted, or worse, forgotten. Like that's sad. But the question was, have you ever had a situation when doing a paranormal investigation where you were rattled or even attacked by a spirit, and how did you handle it? Ooh, child. With the popcorn.
I don't want to freak anybody out.
Zoe.
Give him a light. Give him a light.
Come on. All right, I'm gonna turn.
I've been followed home, scratched, my hair pulled, heard growling. Needed to get someone to come in and help me because I couldn't get rid of them. There's this spiritual priest we call Padrino, who I love, and he's helped me before when I've had some demons come at me, because I've had a couple of occasions, and he was able to help him cross over. But so the answer is yes. There's been some incidences. That's one of the reasons why I stopped doing it. Not that I didn't want to help the people. And if there was children involved, I still went because I don't like children being tormented or frightened. That pisses me off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been incidences. I just don't want to freak too many people out. I can't.
No, I hear
don't
you.
want to get too graphic.
I don't, you know, I've been lucky. I have not had a situation where I've been like thoroughly attacked. I've taken home residual energy
Mm.
and have fallen into like a deep depression for several weeks after. Lost a lot of weight very quickly, lost my hair, just got really ill very quick. And I had to do like a full-on cleansing that was like, it was like a 40-day cleansing. It was very intense. So that's like the worst. Now I've had a situation because my specialty is working with disabled spirits, so spirits of, you know, psychosis, mental health issues, those who were actually disabled and have no comprehension of like anything, even when they were alive. And so working with them. So I've had an encounter where I thought it was absolutely terrifying until I realized what I was looking at, which was, you know, someone who was insane, but now insane as a spirit.
Right.
And it was a very like rattling experience for me. And then I had to like recenter and be like, okay, don't forget why you're here. You know what I mean? Like you're here for a reason. And then to build the communication and to build that was very difficult.
Wow.
Yeah. It's, I know, like, I go home, when I go home, I pass the psych ward,
Yeah.
and
I'll go
it is
down like it.
so haunted, and I feel their distress, and it's hard for me sometimes. I pray as I pass it, because I feel them, like, reaching out and suffering, and it's just, you know, it's hard. So, yeah, it's sad that if they were ill that way, when they left their vessel, they stayed that way. That's sad.
Yeah, I've encountered a few things. I had a negative energy recently that was, he got to go. That's what I said. You got to go. But he left. I got rid of him, but he was definitely stinky. And so
She's got a sulfur
Candace
smell.
said she has a sulfur smell in her home. Is that a bad
What,
spirit?
currently?
Is that currently, Candace?
I recently
Yeah.
had a sulfur
Yeah,
smell in
recently.
my
Yep.
house.
Okay, you need to cleanse the
Yeah,
home.
you need
Yeah.
to.
You have to cleanse the home.
Time for cleansing, my dear.
You know, Pina brought up a really good point that when she was talking about how it was sad driving by the psych ward to know that once they've left their corporal body that they're still intellectually and emotionally and all that the same. And that's a really good point. Like, I think a lot of people have the misconception that when you die, all of a sudden you just magically become, like, all the bruises in your body go away, your bones get fixed, and you get 20 years younger and you look fabulous, and like all that, it just magically just goes back in time. And unfortunately, that is just not the case. Now you have those who pass who during their lifetime were so good, so saintly, they had good virtues, they were just good people. You know, again, it's not like they're going to flip to the other side and become a horrible person. They're just going to be what that is. Now, in those kinds of cases, they kind of ascend a little bit. They kind of like, they can be
Yeah.
called on as helpful spirits,
Yeah.
you know, versus just the average.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep. So yeah, there's definitely. Oh, Mary has a question.
I had a spirit come and tell me who was paralyzed in his right arm after he went and got used to the back. And not only did he tell me, he told his brother in Texas. So although he had a motorcycle accident and pulled a few nerves out of his spine, and he lost that when he came back, he did have it. Maybe because it wasn't a mental thing. He was very happy.
Yeah, I mean, the physical, I mean, my mom suffered terribly when she was on this earth, and I see her all the time, and she's moving and grooving, and she doesn't have all the pains, and, you know.
I think it's your I think it's
yeah.
the level you're at, your spirit,
Yeah.
your spiritual
Yes.
level.
Yes.
You know, and also
Yes. And your consciousness, your
I
state
was
of
just,
mind.
yeah, just
Like,
I was
that's
just gonna
why
say,
doing shadow work, like doing the internal work now will save you so much trouble. Because it's true, like when you pass, if your mindset is in the headspace of when you were sick, when you were ill, when
That's
you
where you're gonna stay.
that's where you're gonna
Mhm.
stay at. And your mom was like, "Psh, I'm not going out like this,"
Yeah, no.
and she just like had it. And so yeah, for
She was
sure.
like, because
For
she even said
sure.
to me the night before she left her vessel, she said, I'm leaving now. I said, I know,
Oh wow.
you know. So I was like, okay. I said, but come see me. And she does. She wakes me up 3 o'clock in the morning. So she said it was a pleasure watching.
Candace
Okay.
said she's
Sage,
she's
she
sage
told
and
him to
told him to
leave.
leave. So did that work for you, Candace? Did it help you? I hope so. Many
Yeah.
blessings, Candace. Thank you.
It's 7:30 already. Oh my.
Wow.
7:31.
7:31. Oh, let me show you all Sadie. Miss Sadie wants to get
She's
in
like,
on the
you guys
act.
almost
She's like,
forgot
"You
about
forgot
me."
about me."
This is Sadie, the little button. She's the snowball.
This is Sadie.
This is Angel Aura's mascot.
This is the mascot. She's 9 months old, and Mama loves her. Yeah. She's a little shaggy. She will be getting a haircut. It's so hard to get a dang groomer. You groomers out there, my dog needs a groomer. I called 2 places this week, and they said, "Oh, I'm gonna call you." One place I called said, "Well, she's just in the hospital getting out." And I'm like, "Okay." But shout out a groomer, please. I did go to a couple, and unfortunately, because of the situation out there, with the COVID, she had one of them. The one woman, she had to close, and so sad, so sad. But
Okay.
thank you all for joining us this evening. It's been wonderful.
fun.
I think we had a great show tonight. Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you.
Check out my Facebook page. Also, the notes has a list of all of the events for the month, plus the event pages, and
And booking stuff if you want to do an online.
you can book online. And you can go to the website angeloraboutique.com. You can book right on the website whomever you like to book the reading with. You can do it through the Zoom or at the shop if you'd like to do it here. What else do we have going on the website?
She's in the UK. She can't help you with dog
Oh,
grooming.
sorry. Oh. Sadie's distracting me. I'm
Yes.
distracted.
Blessing and love back.
Light
So
in progress,
anyway,
y'all.
do come in and see us. Try to make it for
Do
the
it.
Halloween party. I'm gonna say it every time I'm on the live until you come in. It's gonna be super fun.
And bring your own bottle.
Have a Halloween reading.
Oh, Halloween readings,
Halloween
yeah.
readings.
The veil is thinning this
Right,
month.
and it's the full moon, right?
And
it's
every
a full
day
moon,
it's
a
getting thinner
Halloween
and thinner
reading,
between the
and
realms.
Things are changing. Things are shifting now. We're in the shift now. Time to wake up, people.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a great evening. Thank you, Leilani. and
Thank
Tina,
you.
and my audience members out
Thank
there.
you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. I love every
Blessings.
one of you. Blessings.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. You guys had so many more questions at the beginning of this thing.